The Carolina Panthers travel to Atlanta to face their division rival Falcons on Sunday. The Panthers are installed as a 6-point favorite on BETDAQ. 45 is the total in this game. Now, the Panthers have won 10 of their last 11 overall, including that big win over the New Orleans Saints last week, maybe the biggest win the franchise has seen in several years. So they need only to beat the Falcons this week, the 4-win Atlanta Falcons, and they will win the NFC South and lock up a first-round bye in the playoffs. So this is a big, big game for Carolina. And they did beat Atlanta 34-10 back in Week 9. That game was non-competitive. So I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be looking at the Carolina side here this week. But be careful. That's all I have to say. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I have a lot of confidence in the Falcons winning this game. Certainly not. Or even staying within 6. But I do know the Falcons are playing their best football of the season. They've covered in 4 of their last 5. Their offense is the healthiest they've been since September. They've scored 21 or more in each of their last 4 games. Now, I don't expect them to have a whole lot of success against this Carolina defense because almost nobody has a whole lot of success against the Panthers. They lead the NFL in points allowed. They rank second in yards allowed. They are great defensively, but they're not so great offensively. I mean, this is just not a very good offense. And the defense is so good that it's sort of covered it up all season. Not a whole lot of people have talked about how bad this Carolina offense is. As a matter of fact, over the last couple of weeks, I've even heard some people talk about Cam Newton as a possible MVP candidate. That is just hard to understand. The Panthers 24th in total offense, 28th in passing offense. Newton just has not been very good passing the football this year. They're one of only 6 NFL teams to average fewer than 200 pass yards per game. You look at their big win over the Saints last week. The offense, and Newton specifically, was terrible throughout most of that game. Now, what happened in the final minute when it mattered most? That offense, led by Newton's passing specifically, drove right down the field in 32 seconds and scored the game-winning touchdown. So, hey, you got to give it to them. They came up big when it mattered most. But you can't ignore the fact that this offense has struggled throughout the season, including last week. And even though the Falcons don't have a particularly good defense, they rank 28th in the league in total defense, this game is in Atlanta where the Panthers traditionally struggle. They've only covered in 1 of their past 5 games in Atlanta. And I have a feeling the Carolina offense isn't going to be able to generate a whole lot of separation in this game. I think it's going to be pretty close. I do have a slight Atlanta lean here. Now, this is not going to be one of my best bets because tough to trust the Falcons in a situation like this. They have nothing left to play for other than pride. Their offseason vacation starts the minute this game ends. Carolina, meanwhile, as we said, needs this game to win the NFC South. This is a very meaningful game for the Panthers, and they have been much better than the Falcons this season. But this is a division rivalry, and Atlanta hasn't shown any signs of throwing in the towel over the last few weeks. To the contrary, as we said, they've been playing their best football of the season. They hung right with the San Francisco 49ers on the road last week. So I think this is a dangerous spot for the Panthers after that big win over the Saints, going on the road to face a lightly regarded division rival with nothing to lose. Don't like the feel of this game for Carolina. I do lean towards Atlanta +6, even though I don't think I'm going to be able to trust the Falcons enough to include them among my best bets.